Hello and welcome to Warhammer Wednesday. This week I'll be looking at the Codex Adeptus Astartes Space Marines. If you've seen my Start Collecting Space Marine box set review, you will have seen that I've tried to recreate this particular Space Marine with the purity seals, the cloth and things into miniature form. I've really tried and it is possible, I'll tell you that. But we're going to be looking at the new Codex that came out last year, 2015. It was less than 2 years between this one and this one. So long are the days gone whereby you'd have to wait 5 or 10 years between codexes or anything like that. Maybe not in the case of Sisters of the Battle. Let's not dwell on that, guys. I will be drawing some similarities with this. I'll be also drawing some similarities with this as well, but mainly I'll be going through some of the similarities and differences and things, because I think some people have looked at this codex and have missed some blatantly obvious things. So if I do, then I should really eat the old codex. But nonetheless, let's have a look at the new one. This one came out, I think, summer of last year, maybe a bit before, similar time to the Knight Codex, the new Knight Codex. Was it needed? That is debatable. Way less than 2 years, probably like a year and a half between these two codexes. Nothing wrong with this. I love this. I would have liked this going forward. The big difference is that the new one is laid out very much like the Orc Codex, because this one, as you can see, it's still got your army list in this current kind of horrible kind of way, and I think we've evolved, guys. I think we've moved on. This is the new standard for codices, definitely, where you've got the picture of them. I think I said in the Orc Codex that this is the future, this is the way it should be. Picture of the vehicle, some special rules and things, and the points. This is incredible. I did used to like the old Codex with all the artwork and things, but it was black and white. And we've, like I said before, we've progressed, and you had some of the rules there, but you didn't have the points, which was really odd. You had to go all the way back, almost to the back of the book, where you had the listing again, so a bit of double handing, and then you had some of the special rules and things, but some of the rules you then had to go back to the front of the codex to have a look at. It's just a bit of a mess, really, bit of a mess. So this is a brand new codex. I put off getting this in the new Knight Codex for quite some time, because you know what I'm like, I just don't agree with bringing out a brand new book such a short time span, not for a game like Warhammer 40,000. So let's have a little look at this codex, shall we? So straight away, got massive force there, and it's just like the Scutarii Codex and things. Apologies for the light, it is directly above me, so there might be a bit of shine on some of the pages, but they're probably going to be shine if it was daylight. But some really nice artwork in here. It kind of like Sons of the Primarchs, really sweet artwork. Look at this, absolutely incredible. Then you've got one of these images, which looks like it's kind of computer generated. If that's painted, if it's painted using computer, that's still bloody incredible. You've got a nice little map, and then you've got kind of like chapters. This review is going to be a while, guys. I'm just warning you now. I might split it into 2 parts because there's almost 200 pages to go through. It's going to take a long time, but this is the review it kind of deserves. Got a little bit about the chapters. So you've got Ultramarines. That looks familiar. Kind of, yep, just copied and pasted that. Then you've got White Scars. You've got Imperial Fists, Black Templars, Crimson Fists, Salamanders, Raven Guard. You've got Iron Hands. Really like that picture. First Company, that's pretty much it. You don't get, I think that's what was covered in the previous one, really. They were kind of like the main ones. You got Battle Companies. So you got a Battle Company, which is, looks like you've got, it's essentially 100 Space Marines company, and that's the way they've kind of set this out. So you've got your 6 tactical squads and their transports. You've got a captain, chaplain, company champion, standard bearer, and veterans. Then you've got 2 squads of assault marines, 2 squads of devastators, and then dreadnoughts kind of filter in in that. It says the assault marines kind of like, they've got a variety of different deployment methods, such as bikes or jump packs, but it doesn't really go on about tanks or heavy support as such. I mean, Devastators, it's got the heavy weapons. Then you've got reserve companies. I think the Centurions are actually taken from reserve companies as well, pretty odd. I mean, like it says here, the 8th company consists entirely of assault marines, while the 9th fills its ranks with 100 Devastators. And then you've got the 10th company, which is just scouts, I think. Then you've got the armoury, so you've got the battle tanks and gunships. Talks about the command structure. Strike forces, so that you've got the Gladius strike force, battle demi companies. Chronicle of Heroes, so again you've got a bit of a timeline here of different events in the 41st millennium. Then this is, I really love this part because it talks about the unit and, you know, just gives you a lot of fluff and background and things. So you've got captains, chaplains, command squads, tactical squads. I think essentially how it goes is you get like a founding, you get recruits, things like that. Then you get them indoctrinated into the scouts. Then I think they have to familiar with heavy weapons, so they're in the Devastator squads. Then they go complete role reversal, and then they're in the assault squads. And then once they've mastered both ranged weaponry and close combat, they then are in the tactical squads. So they're pretty much the elite of the elite. And then they're obviously handpicked from the tactical squads to, depending on how long they serve, be veterans, part of command squad, terminators. So that's kind of how it kind of works. Assault centurions, bikes, land speeders, Devastator squads, Devastator centurions, so Space Marine within a Space Marine, terminators, veterans, scouts, like I said, and dreadnoughts. You've got transports, tech marines, and battle tanks, and gunships. It's a really old picture of the Land Raider, but I do love the cutaway of it. Librarians, not librarians, but librarians. Legion of the Damned. You've got these odd kind of pictures that they had in both the Imperial Knight Codex and in the Mechanicus Codex. This is what I think they're just doing now. They're just creating these funky looking images of models. Really strange because their legs look really long, heads look really small. They just look a little bit out of proportion if you ask me, but what do I know? Again, the Terminators just look really odd because the Terminator isn't the size of a Centurion. He's a lot smaller. But there we go. They've got dreadnoughts, bikes, tanks, Successor chapters for Ultramarines. They look very similar, Black Consoles, to my own. If they were like a chapter, it would probably be Black's Consoles. More Successor chapters. White Scars, Imperial Fists, Salamanders. I mean, it literally boils down to how many pictures of the same Space Marine do you need to see in a different colour. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of that out the way with, and that's your first 100 pages or so. So we're about halfway there. Then you get some nice images of them all set out. I think the way they've kind of set them out is a specific company. I think this is the third company actually. Remember, there's 100 in each company. They've got the red trim. Different companies have a different trim, and obviously they have a different number. That's how you identify them. These are from the first company, I would have thought, because they're veterans, and they've got the white helmets. This is quite a nice picture. All the Imperial Fists, if you like yellow. Your eyes are probably having a treat right now. Yeah. And then you've got some heavy metal kind of pieces as well. This is their new Librarian that came out at the same time. Looks exactly the same as the metal one, but without a bigger hood, and same pose. I think the other one has got a different staff as well. That's the Terminator Captain, which has just been released in the Start Collecting box set, which is an incredible model, really like that. And the new Devastators they released, so you can have a grav cannon in there for all your cheesy goodness. And then you've got the Assault Marines, the new Assault Marines with the massive blade there. It's got some Salamanders against Necrons. And then Forces of the Space Marines. So this is where people have kind of touched upon, and this is where it changes things considerably. Where you find out about the Gladius Strike Force, and then you find out about how company support. If Gladius Strike Force includes 2 battle demi companies, including captain, and the other including the chaplain, then they form a battle company. Any battle company that has the option to take a Rhino, Razorback or Drop Pod may take one at no points cost, but you have to pay for additional upgrades. That's where some people found that, oh okay, well I'll take 2 battle demi companies to create 1 Gladius Strike Force, then I get all my transports for free. Sometimes that's worked, sometimes it's failed completely miserably. Free stuff is nice, but it depends on, in a way, the free stuff has a cost, because you're still having to buy things that make up the company. And my view always is just buy what you need to get the job done right. Get a load of extra things just to build up a company so that you can get free transports. Free stuff is nice, I understand that, but if you're playing to win, then you might not, because you haven't then invested the points that you would have invested into a specific unit to take out a specific unit, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Some people have made it work, like I said before, but others, they've just had too many troops on the table, they haven't had a big creature to help them, or they've just run out of options with their points because they've had to fill in the gaps to get their free transports. It is what it is. And then you've got the data sheets, and you've got the war gear list, which is massive. I mean, if you remember, if you've looked at my Mechanicus book, my Mechanicus literally had 2 pages of war gear. This has many pages, but this is one of the oldest armies, so it has a lot of stuff. So this video is quite long. I said before that I'd be splitting it into 2 parts, and I'll be focusing on the older Codex as well. So I think it's probably a good time just to leave it there. And in part 2, which will be a completely separate video, I'll start with the HQ and so on, and go through the rest of the book. So hopefully you'll join me for that. Thanks ever so much for watching. The Emperor Protects.